Before we start, comment night if you've ever worked a night shift or stayed awake past 2 a.m. Because what you're about to hear proves one thing. Back-end index pointing right the night doesn't make things quieter, it makes them dangerous. These are 4 true stories from people who worked late-night jobs and thought they were safe, until someone or something noticed them. And the first story starts at a drive-thru window. My name is Thomas, and for 2 years, I worked the overnight shift at a Burger King. From 10 p.m. to 4 a.m., it was usually just me, a headset, and the glow of streetlights outside the drive-thru window. Most nights were dead. Drunk customers, tired truckers, and the occasional lost teenager. Nothing special, until about a month ago. A car pulled up to the speaker late one night. Male voice. Calm. Normal. He ordered a double Whopper meal with cheese and a Coke. Nothing strange, until he reached the first window. He only lowered his window an inch, just enough to slide his card through. The windows were tinted black. I couldn't see his face. I gave him the receipt. Then he drove away. Didn't stop at the second window. Didn't pick up his food. I waited. 5 minutes passed. No return. So I ate the meal myself and forgot about it. A week later, it happened again. Same order. Same voice. Same thing. Paid, then disappeared. By the third time, I realized it wasn't random. Someone was buying food just to leave it behind. I didn't complain. Free food is free food. But then one night around 2 a.m., he ordered again and added something new. I hope you've been enjoying those Whoppers. Mr. Hurley, that's my last name. It's not on my badge. It's not on any screen customers can see. My stomach dropped. I demanded to know who he was. Silence. His engine revved, and he drove off without paying. When I got home that morning, there was a note taped to my door. 3 words. I know what you did. And under it, you have 3 days. I stood there shaking. I had no idea what he meant. I hadn't done anything. The next night at work, he came back. Didn't order food. He gave me an address and said I owed him $10,000. I laughed. Until 3 nights later, a rock smashed through my living room window. Now the police know. Now I don't feel safe anywhere. And whoever he is, he knows where I work and where I live. And that was only the first story, because the next night shift worker thought he was helping stranded people on a dark road. But what they were really doing was trying to send him somewhere he might not come back from. After college, I couldn't find a real job, so I drove for rideshare apps on weekends to pay bills. Friday and Saturday nights were best. Drunk college kids, surge pricing, easy money. Around 1:30 a.m. one night, I was about to log off when one last ride came in. Pick up downtown. Drop off. Way past the suburbs. The pay was too good to ignore. The girl I picked up was quiet and normal. 40 minutes later, I dropped her off in a neighborhood that barely had streetlights. Then I turned around to head home. 10 minutes into the drive, I saw a car stopped in the middle of the road with hazard lights on. 2 people stood in front of it, waving. I slowed but didn't pull up too close. Cracked my window just enough to hear them. They were a middle-aged couple. The woman spoke fast, like she'd rehearsed it. She said the bridge ahead had collapsed earlier that day. Claimed they almost drove into the river themselves. Then the man pointed down the dark road and said there was a dirt road shortcut through the woods that would reconnect to the highway. I thanked them and drove off. But something felt wrong. The story felt practiced. Too smooth. Too prepared. A mile later, I saw the dirt road they described. It was barely wide enough for one car. Just a dark tunnel into trees. I kept going instead. A few minutes later, I reached the bridge. It wasn't broken. Not cracked. Not damaged. I crossed safely, but I didn't sleep that night. I kept thinking about what would have happened if I'd turned onto that dirt path alone. 3 days later, curiosity got me. I drove back in the afternoon. Same road, same bridge. But now, there was a sign nailed to a tree at the dirt path. It read, "Dead Yendi." That sign wasn't there before. I parked and stepped out. In daylight, the path didn't look scary. Still, my chest felt tight. I took 2 steps forward, and then I heard it. A scream. A woman's scream. Deep inside the woods. I ran back to my car, so fast I don't remember unlocking it. I haven't gone back. But sometimes I wonder if that couple wasn't trying to help me. Who were they trying to send me to? And why was the bridge line necessary? The third night shift worker thought he was alone inside a locked warehouse. Until something started moving, where no one was supposed to be. And this time, the camera saw it first. I worked overnight security at a warehouse complex on the edge of a small city. My shift ran from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., and most nights, I was completely alone. No coworkers, no visitors, just me, a flashlight, and 6 security cameras. The warehouse stored industrial supplies, nothing valuable. My routine never changed. 1 patrol outside, then hours in the security office watching the monitors. One winter night, snow was falling lightly. At 1:30 a.m., one of the loading dock cameras sent a motion alert. That wasn't unusual. Wind and animals triggered it all the time. I checked the feed. Empty dock. Snow drifting past the lights. 10 minutes later, another alert. Same camera. Still nothing visible. Then another. And another. Always the same camera. By 3 a.m., I went outside to check. The snow had stopped. No footprints. All doors locked. When I returned inside, I heard a sound from deep in the building. A slow metallic scrape, like something heavy being dragged across concrete. I checked the interior cameras. All aisles empty. An hour later, I heard it again, louder. Scrape, then a loud bang. When I checked the last camera feed, the screen went black for a second. Then it came back. But the angle was wrong. Someone had moved the camera. I grabbed my flashlight and radio and went inside. The warehouse was massive, endless shelves under dim yellow lights. Halfway down the main aisle, I heard footsteps. Not echoes, not wind. Footsteps. I stopped. They stopped too. I called out, identifying myself as security. No response. I kept walking, heart pounding. I knew someone was in there, but I never saw them. That was worse. I finished the patrol and stayed in the office until sunrise. Maintenance later checked the whole building. No broken doors. No open windows. No explanation. Everyone assumed I imagined it. But I know I didn't, because something moved that camera, and something was walking when no one else should have been there. The last night shift worker thought a gym was the safest place to work overnight, until a man came in who never stopped running and didn't feel pain. Back and index pointing right part 4 is the most disturbing one. My first real job was at a 24-hour gym. I worked overnight shifts during a gap year between school and college. Most nights were boring. A few regulars lifting weights, some late-night runners, and long stretches of silence. The gym used key cards, so technically, everyone inside was supposed to be a member. My job was simple. Sit in the office, watch the cameras, and do a few walk throughs every hour. One night around 2 a.m., I noticed a man on a treadmill in the far corner of the gym. At first, nothing seemed wrong, until I checked the screen. He was running at 9 miles per hour. That's fast, but not impossible. What made it strange was that he didn't stop. 10 minutes passed. Then 15. He never slowed down. I zoomed in on the camera. He had long, messy hair and torn clothing. His face didn't change at all, just staring straight ahead. Then I saw his feet. He wasn't wearing shoes. My stomach tightened. Running barefoot at that speed should hurt badly. I walked out of the office to tell him shoes were required. As I turned the corner, I froze. The treadmill belt was covered in blood. Not drops, smears. His feet were split open, skin tearing with every step. But he didn't react. He didn't wince. Didn't slow down. He just kept running. I shouted at him to stop. He didn't turn his head. He only whispered, "Are you there?" His voice sounded dry, hollow wrong. I backed into the office and grabbed my phone. Before dialing, I looked at the cameras again. He was staring directly into the camera now. Still running. Still bleeding. Mouth hanging open. Then he jumped off the treadmill and sprinted out of frame. I checked every camera. Nothing. Except one. The employee hallway. He was standing 6 feet from my office door. I locked it just as the handle started shaking. He screamed. Not words. Just a long, deep scream that didn't sound human. The police arrived 5 minutes later. He was gone. They searched the gym. No blood. No footprints. No man. I quit the next day. I still think about one thing. If I hadn't locked that door, I wouldn't be telling this story. For night shifts. For people who thought they were safe. A drive-thru worker. A rideshare driver. A warehouse guard. And a gym employee. All of them learned the same lesson. Night doesn't make places quieter. It just hides what's watching. And if you've ever worked the night shift, you might already know you're never really alone.